this, Justin. Fox can confirm that President Trump will go on patrol tonight in our nation's capital with law enforcement and military personnel at his side. President Trump broke the news today in a radio interview, and we expect more reportable details shortly.
Hello and welcome back, and thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double D, and you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And it's crazy, Double D. You would think with everything going on in D.C. right now that Biden had no power to do any of this. You know, this has been going on for years and years and years, and we'll get into it in a minute, what's going on. And it's like almost like they feel like they're helpless, but in all actuality, they just don't want to do anything to help anyone.
Who are you talking about? The Democratic Party?
Yes, just in general. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, it did seem that way during their the last 12 of 16 years, they controlled the White House. They controlled Washington, D.C. The Democrats still control Washington, D.C. It's not like there's nothing that's changed there. That's still the same. So, and now they have the help of the federal government, because the truth be told, Washington, D.C. is the nation's capital. That means first and foremost, it is federal jurisdiction. And I think it's way overdue. I'm surprised, actually, that Obama or Biden didn't do that in the first place. You know what I mean? Honestly, because any of those presidents could have done this.
True. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about yet, Trump realized that Washington, D.C. has gotten so bad and so crime-ridden that he had to deploy the National Guards in there just to make things safe for the common everyday people. And you would think, by the way the media is downplaying everything, that it's all a lie. But it's not. And we have a lot of testimony here today from actual people that live in D.C., and these aren't just like random white people. These are all people of color, the people that actually live there, and they're all saying how great this is, that this is finally going on because the streets have been so unsafe.
This is true. Before you roll that clip, though, Bird, can we let everybody know to like, subscribe, and, smash those notifications, and maybe share this with some of your friends?
Yep, you heard it right there. Make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, smash the notification.
Appreciate it. Well, we all appreciate it. But yeah, dude, it's the evidence. You got a slew of it right now to show the audience. I say, you know what? Let that clip roll, Bird.
So what this one is talking about, by the way, is this shows that crime is not down in D.C. It's just not being reported as much.
So yesterday, Judge Jeanine Pirro got up on the press podium and pointed out how 29 of our black babies were unalived last year due to pew-pew violence, right? And you got the press podium talking about how crime is down. She pointed it out to them, and they're still saying, statistically speaking, and just remember, when all throughout the last 4 years, they were saying inflation is transitory, Biden is sharp as a tack, the jab is not harmful. All of this nonsense, straight up to your face. You see, the press is the most evil, corrupt organization. I can't even blame the press, because not all of them, but I would say the liberal press, the liberal media. You are not to be trusted ever again. You want us to scream about how all this injustice is happening. Meanwhile, our black babies are being mowed down on the street. And you want us to just take it and don't believe our lying eyes. That is pure evil. And
He's right.
people are saying
1000%.
that they don't know any better. Like, imagine you go to school for 4 years to learn how to conduct yourself, how to be ethical, how to have principles, just principles set up to being a journalist. And you just throw all that out the window because of your hatred for one man. And you guys want me to believe history? You guys want me to believe history when you just sit up there and lie? Like, and you guys sleep at night? And meanwhile, you have Joe Scarborough talking about how all his Democrat liberal friends are thanking Trump behind the scenes because of how safe he's going to make DC. Pathetic losers.
I love it.
You cannot make this up, man. I must be dreaming.
These people really are pathetic losers. He is spot on with that. 1000% spot on with that. Like, dude, this is what's wrong. It's all become nothing but propaganda. Everything in the media you see nowadays, it could be anything. It has all just become propaganda to push their liberal agenda and their liberal ideology.
And you know what I think, Bert? I think the black community has finally figured that out, brother. They have figured that out. They've been sold a narrative, and the lies he was talking about. I know what the lies were that he didn't mention it, but he was about history, about the lies of history. They don't teach anymore that the Democratic Party was responsible for slavery and Jim Crow, and,
right?
You know, and causing the Civil Rights Bill to take almost 14 years to get passed because they kept, you know, voting it down year after year all through the 50s. That was the Democrats, not the Republicans. The Republicans voted for that with a 78% rating. 78% of the Republicans in 1964 voted for the Civil Rights Act, by the way. So that's a huge number, man. And history, they don't tell us that in history anymore. And that's what he's talking about. He's talking about that lie.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they don't tell us in history.
I mean, is it a lie, or is it just a withholding of information? But either way, I interpret that as a lie. I mean, I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the fact that, you know, people are just in general are starting to wake up. People you normally wouldn't see, like, realizing the bullshit, are actually like saying, "Hey, wait a minute. What you're saying isn't making any sense because I'm living it right now, and what you're saying is the complete opposite of what I'm living. So how are you going to tell me what I'm living is false when I'm living it?" You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, it's like the liberal media, they really think that people are stupid. Like, there's no other way to look at it. They really do think that people are so stupid that they'll just believe anything that they say. And it's just not like that anymore. Hence why MSNBC's dying, CSNBC's dying, anything with NBC, it's all dying because nobody cares anymore. People would rather go watch a Charlie Kirk debate or go watch I don't know, Andrew Tate video, or just anything like Shapiro, that, or Ben Shapiro. And I'm not saying I agree with all these people about everything. I'm just saying in general, they would rather go see somebody who's more so a content creator who pays attention and knows how to read between the lines than somebody who's giving an agenda of what to say.
I would agree. And you know what? Here's another thing. All those names that we mentioned, they might have a different take and a different opinion on things, but when it comes to the facts, almost every single one of them bring the facts to the table. They don't spew it without knowing it's true.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed about Ian, Andrew Tate included, man, when they're wrong, they're also the first ones to admit it. So,
right.
You know, and it doesn't happen very often.
Well,
but when they make a mistake, they correct it. You don't see that in the left-wing media.
Well, if
they make a mistake, they just kind of push it under the rug.
You don't see, the only time that they ever correct their mistake is when they're forced to. Hence, like when Trump or when Matt Gaetz threatened to sue The View, they were forced to apologize to Matt Gaetz and say, no, what we said was false, blah, blah, blah. But the reason is that they do that is because they don't have any values. We at least hold a value to ourselves to where we hold ourselves accountable. That's the whole thing with the Democratic Party. There's no self-accountability. So when they say something wrong, they're like, oh, I don't care, and they just keep it going. But if we were to say something wrong, they'll hold our feet to the fire and make us apologize a trillion times, which I don't apologize for anything. I don't care what I say. If what I say offends you, go F yourself.
Well, you know what I say, Bert. If they find me offensive, I suggest they quit finding me.
That's exactly right. And the way that these libtards are protesting what's going on in Washington, D.C., I'll guarantee these are paid actors. I'll guarantee these aren't people really protesting.
Absolutely.
And I'll guarantee they're all a bunch of are we allowed to say Antifa? Yeah, they're probably a bunch of Antifa lunatics and paid to go do this. Or just paid to go do this.
Or worse, it's the geriatric mafia that's paid to do it, dude. That's who we've been seeing most recently at all the protests.
Yeah, dude, that's weird.
Dude, isn't it? They all been like 70 plus years, dude. The geriatric mafia, bro. That's what I'm telling you, man. Well, you know what? Neither one of us have seen this, so we're watching it for the first time, so let's see what we get.
Here's a real cop. He has a badge, he has insignia, and he has his name on his chest. That's a real cop.
Fuck no! Don't harass the citizens, he's not a real cop.
Listen to these white nerds. What? Here's my thing. I don't want to pause this because it's only 41 seconds, but why don't you guys go home?
Yeah. There's a geriatric mafia.
They'd be there somewhere.
I knew they were there. I knew it.
Like, what are you exactly booing? Are you booing that crime is down? Is this what you're booing? Like, are you?
They're pissed off that they're stopping the criminals from being able to do what they want to do.
Are you mad that people can't go break cars at an 86% higher rate than what they were before Trump deployed the National Guards to Washington, D.C.? Listen, what do people expect? This is our nation's capital. This is where the president conducts business with foreign leaders, with everybody from around the country and everybody from around the world when they come here. Why do you want them to come to that and see that this is one of the most crime-ridden cities in our country? It's not a reality that we should be living in.
Bird, you want to know something interesting about all that, too?
What?
You realize the United States has been the only country that doesn't have strong military presence in their capital? Every other industrialized nation, including Canada, Mexico, and England even, dude, they all have a military presence in their capitals, and we don't.
I don't.
Like, that's almost like why? I mean, I thought we had this all along, but we really are one of the only industrialized nations that doesn't keep a sitting army in their capital. And I mean, we have one not too far away in Virginia. You know what I mean?
Right at the
base right down the road.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
In the actual capital, we didn't have that.
Dude, we should have Marines at the front door.
Absolutely, man.
We should have,
dude.
Anywhere there's a body of water, we should have Navy SEALs around the president. I don't care if it's Joe Biden. I don't care if it's Barack Obama. I don't care if it's George Bush. I don't care if it's fucking Dick Cheney who wants to go hunting that day. You need to secure our White House. Our White House should be secured by our strongest military presence.
I was really shocked, man. I was shocked to hear that. I mean, I mean, it was a reputable source. I was listening to, I forget what show it was, but it was on WTAM that I heard it on one of the stations of, you know what I mean? And I just thought that was very peculiar. I probably should have fact checked that first, but honestly, I don't remember seeing a military presence every time I've been there.
Hey, you want
know
to?
what I mean? I've been there like 5 or 6 times.
You want to know?
So
you want to hear something hypocritical? You want to
Well,
know?
he's not a strong military presence. You always see,
Yeah,
Coast Guards
you'll
and
see that.
and yeah, you'll see it. But I'm talking about a strong military with tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't see that there.
You want to know who got to see a strong military presence, and which goes to show the hypocrisy of these Democrats?
Who's that?
During COVID, Tim Walz put the military, the National Guards, out to make sure people weren't out. And we have video proof of it right here. So why weren't they crying about it then? But they're crying about it now.
On Timmy. Well, they're crying about it now because it's also
Because
in
it's
Washington,
not
D.C.
because it's not really a problem.
Not only that, but all of those politicians are there, and they got to watch their P's and Q's now too.
Right.
All the eyes of America are watching Washington, D.C., and we have our military. Dude, we sent 150 Ohio boys there too.
Yeah.
This is serious.
Oh, there's more. Look at this. They just keep coming.
Go inside! Inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go!
How pathetic.
Light him up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Damn.
Get in.
That hurt. You good?
Are you okay?
Wow.
Fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good.
Wow. And this was during COVID. This wasn't even like this wasn't even anything like super serious to where, people were actually getting hurt.
Dude, they took shots at that girl. Who was that? The Minneapolis police? That
was the National Guards. They called in the National Guards during COVID.
Oh, I know, but so that was like what part of the state of Minnesota was that?
I don't think it said it exactly what city it was. Let's go look. Hold on.
I mean, there's a couple. You got Minneapolis, St. Paul. I really can't think of too many.
It doesn't say the city. It just says use the National Guards to keep people inside.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. They shot that girl.
Yeah, wild.
And that was Tampon Timmy's state, man.
So we don't even I was just showing that was just to show the hypocrisy of these liberals.
That was insanity, bro.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
crazy. And for the people,
it's like the Constitution doesn't even exist in Minnesota.
For the people saying that there's no crime in D.C. and that people don't want Trump to do what he's doing right now by deploying the National Guards, here goes to show you that you're being fed a lie by the liberal media, and the real people in the community want this to happen.
And it's been real quiet in the city, real livable, real I like that. I mean, they all coming in a little hard, but I mean, hey, we need that. We needed that shit. Get them little bitches out of here. I ain't seen a little niglet in 24 hours. It's been a full 24 hours since I seen one of them little nigglets. All right, Trump. And I don't know why y'all sitting up here acting dumb. If you ain't doing shit wrong, if it don't apply, let it fly.
Yo, she was being honest.
She was being honest, but she was also you could tell she was like the party began at her house.
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
She did seem a little inebriated a little bit, but that's all right. She had her headphones on. She wasn't driving her car. It's cool.
So we have another guy right here, another person in D.C.
Just a week after President Trump federalized the National Guard, I'm here in D.C. walking in an area where it used to be filled with homeless people, high crime area right outside the White House. And as you guys can see, nothing, absolutely nothing.
That's how D.C. was when I was there.
Cops on every corner. I mean, there used to be literally 2-3 cops that would stand at this corner, and they're not here. I think there might be a new slogan brewing to make America D.C.
Hey,
Ooh, wow, they're confident. I like his confidence.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to last past, the Republican presidencies. And I say presidencies because I know we're taking 28 also.
Yeah. I don't see why we wouldn't. I don't see why J.D. Vance doesn't win it. Especially if the Ukraine and Russia things get solved here pretty soon. Trump's going to go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. Not just for what he does for America, but for what he's done for around the world.
Absolutely.
And if you think that he's not doing things right for America, this guy right here, he breaks it down a little bit more for us.
Yeah, he'll tell us.
Man, down the city is quiet as a church mouse, man. I came all the way down Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. So peaceful, yeah. I don't smell no weed, yeah. I don't see no homeless people. I mean, I came all the way through the southeast side, all the way down here. You can see now I'm at the White House jump, man. It's quiet, yeah. It's a shame that it takes somebody to have to sit in your classroom in order for you to be in order, yeah. Because that's what it feels like, yeah.
He's like the principal
to do your job, yeah. Stuff been out of control for years. You got to do better, yeah. You got to do better, yeah. And mainly, yeah, you got the problems. It's us, man. It's always us giving everybody a bad name, yeah. We'll see how long this lasts, yeah. How many murders was it last night? How many carjackings was it last night? Talk to me. And y'all keep on posting all these data numbers and things of that nature that y'all see everybody else reposting. The stuff that came from the Metropolitan Police Department and the mayor, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Let me tell you something. You can't be that stupid. You can't be, man. Who enters that information to get that data analysis, yeah? People do. You can enter whatever numbers you want to make whatever report show what, but you can't hide the crime.
He's right, man.
You can't do it.
1,000%.
Let me give you something to break it down to you for those that don't understand. I retired from UPS, right? So what they used to do to play with the numbers or whatever, we have mission packages. You'll have drivers over the hours. They'd go in and enter the information and the report would show whatever they needed to show to keep their bonus that week for their bosses not to fire their ass. So stop believing that stuff. And I don't know if you ever had to deal with the DC government, young, but they suck, young. They have got a lot more better now that the officers have did what they had to do and got all of these people out of the government and got rid of the riffraff and things of that nature. People actually do work now. Let me give you this for example, right? You got carry and conceals or whatever that were being issued by the DC separate department that was handling the gun license and the things of that nature. They went from turnaround time for like 4 months, 5 months for you to have to get a gun registered in DC and get a carry and conceal to 2 weeks.
Wow.
It used to take you 3 months just to get an appointment to talk to somebody and take your information and your gun down there. Now, you go online right now and they got appointments available tomorrow. How does that happen?
That's awesome.
What changed? You put some fire under their asses and now they want to do some work.
Right.
Yeah, he's right, man.
He's
That's all it is.
1,000% right. You know what he just basically said to me? Donald Trump is the country's principal. And when when these governors or these mayors are doing wrong, they're getting scolded, and Daddy's going to step in and show them how it's done.
Well, I hate that it has to be that way, but it does kind of it does seem like they have to be told what to do and punished, and that's because the Democrat stronghold. You think that they would want their citizens to be safe, I mean, they run on those premises and stuff. I mean, back in 2020, they were running on defund the police.
Yeah.
Well, we see how well that worked out.
Not good at all.
He was like, Dude, he was straight out calling him out on everything from, from fudging numbers at work to, literally just fudging the statistics. He was making that comparison, how they fudge the statistics like the employees used to fudge the numbers while they were working.
Right.
It's been corruption from top to bottom, from left to right, up and down,
right.
back and forth. Wow. And one man does one executive order to change it. And look at that.
Right.
Happy citizens.
And I guarantee
this woman looks really happy, brother. She looks real happy.
Yeah.
I mean, what has she got to say?
Do you not understand that this is what the residents want? I'm not talking about the bougie upper echelons, bougie blacks. I'm talking about the everyday grandmas that have to deal with these homeless people peeing and pooping on their steps, and then they have to clean it up. They don't feel safe when they walk into their neighborhood. The gangs and the dope boys are just standing around the corner. Do you not understand this is what they want? I remember working with a community leader, and somebody had just gotten shot. This is like 5 years ago. And I remember her praying, and she said, Crystal, we're going to have to invoke the National Guard. And that was so foreign to me. Now I understand these people are helpless.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the bougie black people that live in their gated communities with their new bills. I'm talking about the everyday grandmothers, and I'm so glad that President Trump cares about them.
And I'll guarantee we can
that.
find thousands of videos of people saying the same exact thing over and over and over again, because the media just lies to us so much about what people really want, and they want to cause that division, and they want to cause that chaos, and they want to cause all the bullshit to go on because they would have nothing else to talk about, and they would be deemed wrong, and that they're too proud to be wrong.
Well, and here's the thing. Thank God we have a bunch of regular people who have the news right in their hand.
Right.
They can produce the news right here in their hands, and they can get the news right there in their hands from other sources, especially like sources like us.
Right.
Podcasts and different alternative, conservative, information. But these are live people who live in their neighborhoods, who are just going on social media and giving their testimonies. They're giving their testimonials of what this means and how much of a difference it's made. Like you said, there's probably 3,000 or 4,000 of those we could pull up all night long.
Right.
And you know what? I'm
glad we could at least see those.
I'm glad these people are actually finally feeling like, hey, because the number one primary goal of every government, is to protect its borders and protect its citizens.
Yep.
And the Biden administration failed miserably at that. And now Donald Trump has to clean up that mess. And that mess includes cleaning it up and getting rid of those illegals and homeless people, because a lot of those illegals and homeless are the same people out of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
You want to know what's funny about what you just said, though? When you said that he's cleaning up, he's literally going out and doing that tonight. That's the funniest thing. Like, listen to this.
This just in, Fox can confirm that President Trump will go on patrol tonight in our nation's capital with law enforcement and military personnel at his side. President Trump broke the news today in a radio interview, and we expect more reportable details shortly. Shannon, an incredible development. This just in.
So great. I love it. It shows that he knows how to speak to his people.
Is there any footage yet with the presidential?
Let's go look.
Where he actually goes with? Is there any presidential footage with the police officer yet for the ride along? Now, is he riding along with the Washington D.C. police, or is he riding along with the National Guard?
I'm not 1,000% sure. I think he's riding with the police, from what I understood.
I mean, usually when it's a ride along, that's how it's done. So.
I'm not seeing anything on X about it.
No, that's cool. It'll be on tomorrow. We're a little bit ahead of the 8 ball on that one, but that's okay. Tomorrow it'll be there, and we'll have some. We'll post a short or something.
Oh wait, hold on.
Let's
see.
something cool.
See, this one has commercials and stuff.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get some good stuff on Friday because
Yeah,
we're not recording this on Friday.
Well, this is all going to go on for at least a couple of weeks, dude. I mean, we're gonna weekly and daily and weekly see progress. And
Yep.
Washington D.C. Watch. Don't be surprised if they have a wave of tourism here before it gets cold again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
There's still 2 months left, man. Washington D.C. still got 2 months, and their tourism's been beat the hell out of.
That's very true.
Honestly,
that's very true.
I've never seen Washington D.C. where it had poop and pee on stairs. I've seen that in New York City and Brooklyn in particular, but I've never seen that in Washington D.C. So I didn't even know it was that bad. Seriously.
Yeah, I haven't been to Washington in about 5 years. Last time I was there, it was hectic. There was people everywhere. It was it was like August, I think. Yeah, I think we went there in like August of 2019 maybe or something like that.
And I was there in July of 17.
Right, and it was hectic, dude. I'm talking about there was thousands of people walking around outside. It's like you would see in like a movie.
Yeah, it was like being in downtown Washington, D.C., man. You'd see street musicians playing guitars and drums and shit. That wasn't uncommon to be walking over by the Smithsonian and see all the artists and stuff like that.
Right.
I'd have to believe, you know what? I haven't seen any YouTube videos on those artists in years.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that they're probably not back yet, but I'm sure they will be. I'm sure they're coming back.
No, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad for Washington, D.C., man. I'm glad that, because that's our nation's capital. That's the first place that people from other countries, dignitaries and presidents and kings even, and royalty. And
that's where our president meets them.
And our president meets them there. And it's like, you know, I mean, I think when Putin joked around Moscow the next time, and how come they didn't invite him to Washington D.C. where it's warmer? They go to Alaska instead. I mean, it's decent in Alaska right now. It's like in the 50s, but why wouldn't you want to be in Washington D.C. where you're close to the ocean? It's sunny every day, and you know what I mean. The weather's still in the 80s. You can golf and what have you,
right?
You know, but they chose Alaska. Why? I mean, because he didn't want to be embarrassed. That's why.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be embarrassed by people shitting on the street.
That's true. And Washington just looked. He did what he had to do. He did literally the only thing that he could do to help that city and that community, and it seems like it's working.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like it's working. Like I said, we're going to keep our eye on this because you know it's going to be a daily and weekly thing. So we'll definitely be keeping our eye on it and watching the progress along the way.
1,000%. All right, everybody. On that note, I think we're going to end it. We really appreciate you guys stopping by. I want to thank God because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank you, thank Double D, thank my family, and thank everybody. Double D, I'm going to give it to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Bert. As always, you make this happen for us every week. Our audience, you make us want to do it every week. So thanks for hanging out. And most importantly, as always, I do got to thank my Lord and Savior for making this possible. And with all that, good night, y'all.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.